Good evening. My name is Mary, and this is my daughter, Debbie. And I'm going to share just a brief update with you following the visit that Father Fayette had been here. I'd like to give you some updates as to what he had told us about. And then I'm going to turn it over to Debbie, and she's going to share with you the part of this trip that had the biggest impact on her. So I'm just the warm-up, and I'll be brief. A few months ago, Father Fayette from Sagan had come here and visited. And during his visit, he shared with us the devastation that the parish had experienced from 4 hurricanes. 4 hurricanes, one right after the other, with very little recovery time in between. Why do I choke up every time? He had shared with us that the hurricanes had wiped out all of the crops. They lost all of their farm animals. Thank you. And many homes and people had been washed down the mountains. The roads were washed out and impassable. The only way people could get food was on foot with a day-long trip to Port-au-Prince, and they could only bring back what they could carry, which would be another day-long trip home. Families were really devastated. They had also recently purchased supplies for the new school year, and had lost all of their supplies. They had either been washed down the mountains or damaged by the flooding. But the most devastating impact was the loss of the food. Most of the people were suffering from a severe food shortage, and we knew that malnutrition was going to be an issue when we were there. But following that visit, because of your contributions, we were able to have food airlifted into Sagan to help the people. And we also provided Father with cash so that he could buy seeds so that people could begin to replant. Now, during our trip, we did see some of the effects of the hurricane. Our medical team definitely saw more cases of malnutrition, and what they did see was more severe than what we had seen in the past. We also saw that the landscape of the mountain had changed. So much topsoil had been washed down the mountain that the terrain was much rockier now, and that there was less farmland available. But the people are very resilient, and they will farm every inch of land that they can. With the devastation that this community had suffered, it was critical that our team be there. Your generosity through prayer, contributions of time and money continue to send the message to the people of Sagan that they have not been forgotten. And they continue to pray for those who prayed for them. Thank you. Sorry, Debbie.
Hello, I am Debbie LaPonte. I'm a graduate of Holy Spirit School, and I'm currently a senior at West Catholic High School. I'd first like to thank you for your continuous generosity of donations and prayer. Without your support, our training program would not be able to happen. I wouldn't have had the life-changing experiences that the Haiti training program has brought about. This was my 3rd trip to Haiti, and it was the trip that has had the greatest impact on me. On my past trips, most of our time was spent in Sagan. But on this most recent trip, we were also able to visit Mother Teresa's home for the sick and dying children. As I walked into Mother Teresa's, I was instantly hit by the sound of crying children. Mother Teresa's houses hundreds of children, all extremely sick and malnourished. Each room has about 40 cribs, and some of the cribs are occupied by 2 babies, because there are simply not enough cribs for the number of children who need care. I walked through a couple of rooms and helped quite a few babies by the time I made it over to the room that had my special baby boy. I call him my special baby because when I walked into the room he was in, I instantly felt God calling me over to the baby. He was extremely malnourished. He looked as if he was around 2 or 3 months old, but his hospital tab told me that he was actually 13 months. This astounded me. I picked up this crying baby, and as he clung to me with all of his strength, I was unsure of what to do, but something inside me told me to sing to him. So I started singing my favorite lullaby, and as I sang, the baby boy began to relax and eventually fell asleep. I placed him back in his crib and continued on to comforting other babies until it was feeding time. Once again, I felt the pull toward my special boy. As I picked him up to feed him his lunch, I instantly felt God's presence. As I fed the baby, I told him in a language he didn't know, "One day you will be big and strong. You will be healthy." Sorry. The baby looked up at me, and I stared into his eyes, and I knew he could understand me. so I had to put the baby boy back in the crib. He stuck in his crib and grabbed onto my shirt with all of his might. As he refused to let me go, and as fresh tears fell from my eyes, I promised this baby boy that I would never forget him, and that he would always be in my heart and in my prayers. Once again, I knew he could understand me. As I left him, I continued to cry. These were tears of anger. I was angry at myself for leaving the baby boy behind, but most of all, I was angry at the world for allowing this to happen to an innocent child. I'm not standing here today to make you feel pity for these children, because a good friend of mine told me that tears of pity just make you feel sorrow, but tears of anger actually make you do something. They spark a passion within you, your soul, that will implore you to make a difference. So I stand here today in order to hopefully spark some sort of passion inside your soul, so that you can continue to make a difference in the lives of the people of Haiti. Thank you.